Are you trying to get started in real estate, either as an investment or fully as your own business in the real estate world? Then this video is for you. This is my step-by-step guide on how to build a real estate investment company. First off, you need to really think about location. So where are you located? My first bit of advice is don't start off by investing in real estate that's very, very far away from you. I love Grant Cardone. This video is not for him. This is for the small time you're getting started real estate investor. And we're not all Grant Cardone yet. You will be, but you're not there yet. So to get started, buy a property that is close to you. Why? Because sometimes the tenants can have issues. Remember, this is a business. It is passive to an element, but it's not perfectly passive. It does take work. So you've got to be prepared to do the work. So know your geographical location. Try to pick something that's within maybe a 1-hour drive maximum. So you're not having to go too far to be able to manage the property. Especially when you start out, you're not going to have a team around you. But we'll get to that. We are going to build out a team, but at first, you're not going to have that. You're going to have to do a lot of things yourself. So you're going to want to have the property be close enough to you that you can actually do that work. So we need to understand that in real estate investment and business, there's kind of two parts to the coin. There's properties that have low cap rate that you're looking for high appreciation of the asset. And there's properties that have a really nice high cap rate, but tend to not appreciate as much. And what do we mean by cap rate? We mean the capitalization rate of the property. So that's the return on investment that it's going to pay you for holding it. If I buy a property for $100,000 and it pays me $10,000 a year in rent, it has a 10% cap rate. If it pays me $1,000 a year in rent, it's a 1% cap. It's that easy. So know that math and know how that affects and impacts you in your local area. For example, I live in Vancouver and the cap rates on the properties are very low, but the capital appreciation on the properties is quite high. So it's a different investment strategy in this area than it is in, say, Winnipeg or Kansas City or Boise, Idaho, where the cap rates tend to be very high. You can get 5, 6, 7% on your capitalization rate on the property, but the appreciations tend to be a little bit lower and more flatline. It's all about the type of strategy that you're going to take to the investment. Now, when we look at it, know also the specifics of your area when it comes to demographics. Demographics is what drives property values. If you're in an area where a lot of population is flowing in, the assets are gonna rise accordingly, because high-paying jobs, inflow of population is going to put demand on real estate, and then that's also going to put demand on pricing. The other factor that you need to consider is monetary policy. And we all have witnessed this, so I'm not going to belabor the point to you. You completely understand what it's all about at this point, is when the interest rates go up, property values go down, and when interest rates go down, property values go up. It's that simple. But it's not set in stone, because usually the interest rates aren't changing so dramatically like they have in the last little bit here with the pandemic. Generally, property values are going up at a steady approximate amount, 3 to 4% per year on hotter markets, maybe 0 to 1 or 2% saw in slower moving markets. But it's a great asset because if you think about it, the amount of leverage that you can take against real estate is really unprecedented when it comes to the banks. And it's because of the confidence that we have in the asset of real estate as a society. Really, everybody can go to the bank, get a mortgage, and buy a property. And when you're levered on the property and leveraged up, then those small incremental increases in the property value result in big amounts of money coming to you in the overall appreciation of the asset. So you really can let the asset do the work versus you doing the work. And a really amazing element of property investment is, well, one, depending on the jurisdiction you're in, you can write the interest off and you're able to have someone else, the tenant, pay off your debt. While at the same time, that debt is inflating away over time. So I borrow $100,000 today, and 10 years later, that $100,000 is just a smaller number in real value terms because of the inflation that's happened over. And the cost of carrying that debt has been carried by the tenant. That is the power of real estate. And at the same time, if you've picked a good location, a city that has a growing population and strong labor demand and labor market, you're in a good position to have that asset continue to rise in value. Now you can take that asset, you can refinance that asset and obtain through a HELOC on the house, you can obtain the money tax-free. So to try to save up the kind of money through your occupation, if you think about the figures after tax, you almost need to earn double the amount of money to be able to obtain those funds to then be able to go do the subsequent investment and really roll those investments on top of each other to build out a strong real estate portfolio. Now, always be prepared and cautionary that you don't overextend yourself and you're unable to be able to maintain the loans in the event of higher interest rates or loss of a tenant. These things can be mitigated by going with a fixed rate instead of a variable rate, therefore you know your payments, and having more smaller properties versus one larger property, so you have multiple tenants, so the risk of having a single tenant not in the property becomes reduced as well. If you're liking the content, please make sure to like and subscribe to the video. Our channel is all about business, investing, and helping you 10x your revenues in business. And take a look at our latest video on how to grow your business during a recession. So as we look at the real estate market today, we do know that prices are coming down. This is the moment that you really want to be doing what you can. Take advantage of a slightly softer marketplace and get those good deals. So get into the market, because real estate, it's all about buying and waiting, not waiting to buy. Thanks for watching the video.